Does it seem like every other homeschool mom has it together but you? Do you struggle to get through your homeschool day trying to teach all of your kids all of the things? Believe me, I understand. Hi, I'm Christy with Homeschooling in Progress. And in this video, I'm going to share 5 tips I've learned along the way from homeschooling my own 4 children. Ways that will help you simplify your days so that you can teach all of your kids all of the things. Now, the number one tip I have found to be most effective when you have multiple ages that you're homeschooling is to group the kids as much as you can. Now, if your kids are far apart in age, it might be a little more difficult than if they're closer together, but it can still be done. If your kids are close in age, you might be able to combine them for almost everything. Maybe not math, or if they're younger, you might need to do separate reading classes. But other than that, you can combine the science and the history and things like that together when your kids are closer in age. And that saves you time with planning. It saves you time with teaching because you're only teaching that one subject to multiple kids. But even if your kids are far apart in age, there are still lots of things in your homeschool day that you can combine. Things like art or music, poetry, nature study, read alouds even. Things that all of your kids can do together. And you probably can even try to get history with all of your kids. Maybe you just do the read aloud together, and then your older kids do more independent work, researching or writing a paper, while your younger kids might do a project. Your little ones, the read aloud might be all that they do. So even subjects like history, you could try to adapt to a larger age span. But a great way that I have found to do the things like art and music are to combine them into a homeschool morning basket. Now, if you're not familiar with morning baskets, I've done a whole series on them so that you can watch and get ideas on how to implement them in your homeschool. But morning baskets are a great way to not only be able to teach all of your kids those subjects, but to, have everyone enjoy it together. It's a great bonding experience as well. So grouping your kids together is definitely the best way to simplify your day because you're not teaching as much, so it's not going to take as long. Now, of course, you can't always teach everything together. And so another thing that I try to do right away with my kids is to teach them how to work independently. So that way, if I need to help one-on-one with another child, or I have to get dinner in the crock pot, I have to attend to the baby or toddler, my kids can still be working and not waiting around waiting for something to do. And one of the ways I do that for them to know what they should be doing is to write down in a little spiral notebook each day what their lessons are supposed to be. So each week I write down in a lesson plan book what I'd like to get done that week for each child. And then each day I just write down what pages they're supposed to be working in. So if I tell them, go ahead and get some of your independent work done, they can look and see, all right, I need to do this page in reading, I need to do this page in handwriting, and they can work on it while you're busy doing something else. And I do have a video that I'll link for you that explains the planner a little bit more. And you can see exactly what I'm talking about with that. Another tip for simplifying your day so that you can teach all of your kids is to be organized. And that might mean that you have a place for your homeschool supplies, a place where the books go, a place where pens and pencils and all of that goes, so that your kids are not wasting time trying to find those each day. They know exactly where to go and get them. And so that gives you more time to do the teaching or to actually have some time to breathe at the end of the day and not have wasted all that time looking for pencils. And of course, even if you do have an area for these things, there are going to be days that you're still looking for pencils, but it hopefully won't be every day. Having a daily routine is also a great way to be organized and so that you know what's going to happen each day. We kind of start our days the same way. We start our time with our morning basket that I mentioned earlier. We end that time with a read aloud, and then they move on to individual work. Lunch gets fit in there. And so we kind of just have the little routine that we follow each day. That's going to make your day flow a lot better. Another way to stay organized is with meal planning. This was something I fought so hard on for so many years because I hate meal planning. But I have realized since doing it that it is something that we have to do to stay on top of things. We do it in one chunk of time together as a family and just get it done. Another tip I have is quiet time for everyone. Now, if you have nappers, it's kind of a necessity for the rest of the family to kind of be quiet so they can nap. But even if you don't, if your kids have outgrown that, it's still an important time for everyone to just kind of go off on their own and recharge. The kids might have time to read or do some art. Maybe they can write in journals, take a nap if they're tired. It gives you time to do things that you want to get done or need to get done. And then everyone can come back together all nice and refreshed to, do your afternoon and evening activities. And then finally, it is a must for a homeschool family to be flexible. There are always things that are going to end up coming up in a day or in a week that throw off your plans, that throw off your routine, and that's okay. One of the privileges we have as homeschool families is being able to fit school into our life instead of having to fit our lives around school. So when things come up, if you are flexible and not so set to get everything done at a certain day, then it's not going to be as stressful if you need to put something off for another day or realize they're just not getting this, or we are just not in the mood to work today. End up just doing something else. And then the nice thing is with that flexibility, you can come back to it another day. Some days it is going to feel impossible to teach all of your kids all of the things. So it's important to try to have your day as simple as you can by grouping your kids together as much as possible, by teaching them to work independently, being organized as a family, having some time for everyone to recharge, and most importantly, being flexible. Doing those things will make sure that on the days when it just seems impossible, you're still going to be able to get work done, which will make homeschooling much more enjoyable for everybody. Thanks for watching and happy homeschooling.